Good morning, everyone. Virgo here. It is July 1st, 2019. Happy Monday to everyone, and happy July to everyone. We are in full-fledged summer mode at this point, and where I am sitting, it is almost 100 degrees already. It is extremely hot in here, which is the reason why you hear the extra noise coming from the fans, and I do apologize for that. But unfortunately, I do not have a separate microphone at this point, and it is incredibly hot in here. So if I want to make it through this video without passing out, I'm going to need to keep the fans on. So I apologize up front for the extra noise. I'm hoping that the majority of you that have been following my channel for the last couple of years actually remember this video. This video was done last March 2018 on April LaJQne, and it was an interview that was requested by April LaJQne's former executive assistant, Jennifer. Jennifer came forward and requested by email for me to do an actual interview with her, as she was planning on going to the Durango Herald and taking LaJQne to court due to the fact that LaJQne had held her last paycheck, that of course is not legal, and Jennifer ended up getting a phone call from a concerned customer that had seen that April LaJQne's scam was actually located on the front of the FBI page. Because of that, Jennifer left the office that day and never returned. And when she told April she was aware of what she was doing, April withheld her paycheck. So Jennifer had to reach out to the media in order to assist in getting her funds. Whether she ever got them or not, I couldn't tell you for sure. But the point of the fact is that because of some of the crazy comments that I've been getting, I wanted to make sure you guys knew the backstory on this. Matter of fact, there have been many, oh wait, no, not many, all of April LaJQne's former employees have come forward and have requested an interview. You'll see that if you go to the April LaJQne fraud playlist, you will also be able to find Thomas's interview. And Thomas was actually the one who did video editing for April for many, many months when she first started her TDA scam. I would have been able to do another interview with another person named Tom that worked for her in the credit area of her business, but unfortunately, we were never able to get together because of the fact that Tom had to move back home because he didn't get his final paycheck and needed the assistance and support of his friends and family back home. However, Tom did put up a GoFundMe requesting assistance in order to take April LaJQne to court, which is exactly the same thing that Jennifer had to do. The reason I'm going over all of this, you guys, is because last night, yes, right before April LaJQne's restriction was lifted so that she could come back to YouTube today, I get this really long comment on the very video that you guys just saw. And it starts out as a whopper. Virgo is the worst kind of person. Really? Dramatic much? The worst kind of person? Even if everything that was in this comment were true. I mean, the worst kind of person? Like, murderers, rapists, and child molesters are behind me somehow? The drama and the amount of personal information that's actually in this comment tells us exactly who wrote it. And there's a good reason why it was written. Because today is the day that April LaJQne gets off of restriction from YouTube after 3 months of being put in YouTube jail for scamming people, I'm sure. There have been hundreds of people that have come forward and sent comments and sent paperwork and sent copies and everything else saying, hey, this woman scammed me. And yet April is still putting out their information to try to make people think that this was all some kind of plot by Virgo. Well, let me tell you what, if that was actually the case, she would really need to be concerned, because I have in this video so many other sources that are spreading information saying, please listen to us, this woman will scam you. It will blow your freaking mind if you hadn't seen it before. All right, let's read the rest of the comment. Virgo is the worst kind of person who is trying to put words in Jennifer's mouth and trying to develop the narrative that Virgo wants to publicize. Quote, do you think April knows she's doing something wrong? I don't know how a business with this customer service can survive. Why were you promoted? She never ends the quote there. She just puts in her own comment. Could be that April wanted her out of the job in which she was making mistakes, so she wouldn't have to fire her. Also, Jennifer was working at home. Maybe April wanted Jennifer at the office because she was not working well at home because they were getting behind. Looks like Jennifer wanted to be home with her child rather than working at the office, end quote. Not only is it really bad grammar that she's doing here and actually not a structure of a sentence that it should be put out in the public at all. However, when you actually look at it really closely, you can see that somebody has a lot of actual information that really would not have been paid attention to in this amount of detail by just listening to Jennifer's interview. But I digress. Let's go on. Sounds to me like Jennifer actually liked being a part of the movement and sounds a bit sad that she's no longer there. Oh, I'm sure she really feels badly about not being abused by you anymore, April. And in addition to that, getting telephone calls that scare the hell out of her from customers warning her that your scam is on the front of the FBI website. I'm sure she's really upset about that. In addition to that, she wasn't at home with her child. Her child was in another state at the time, or in another area at the time. These leading questions led right into Virgo's petition to take down April's channel. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible to me how much information this individual has. Seems like Virgo might be jealous or a competitor of April. Oh, here we go with the real narrative that she's wanting to put out there. That now all of a sudden, I'm the con artist. This is a great one for her and Harvey. They work together on this one quite frequently. Supposedly, Harvey claims that I work with April as an opposition in order to create drama. And April is now, of course, or let's say the sock puppet that we are pretty sure has to be April to have this much information, is now somehow saying I'm a competitor of April, when my entire channel clearly shows that I expose anybody who's a scam artist. Anyway, when you're grasping at straws, I guess you grasp for whatever. If April is doing something wrong, fraudulent, illegal, which she may be, the authorities will take care of it and do not need Virgo doing their legwork. Okay, so by this party's estimation, calling out and exposing a scam artist is a bad thing, that we should just all leave it alone and let the authorities do it, even though you're getting hundreds of emails and comments saying, hey, I've been scammed by this person. Hey, I've been scammed by this person too. Hey, I'm an employee and I'm getting phone calls and it's on the FBI website. Hey, I'm just supposed to sit here as an anti-scam channel and say nothing. I love it. I love it. If April is convicted of wrongdoing, that's another story. But until she is, Virgo is smearing April's name and egging Jennifer to do so as well. Egging Jennifer, who came to me, by the way. Hilarious. Okay, so as far as smearing April's name, let's just take a look at that, why don't we? All right, so there's an awful lot of people that actually are trying to get the information out there, and they've been trying for well over a year. As the majority of you guys know, this is something that is all over the web, and I've got a piece of special information that a subscriber has notified me of as of this weekend regarding an investigation that's ongoing on April LaJQne. But before we get there, let me just talk to the people who don't know about this. Okay, so the Durango Herald Here we go. Jonathan Romero. That's April. Business owner accused of defrauding customers. You know who she's been accused by? Not Virgo. She's been accused by her employees and her customers. And if you read this actual article, you will see that. There are people you can contact besides Virgo and talk to them about this scenario. Jonathan Romero is the reporter. Is he also supposed to shut up because it's really just law enforcement that's supposed to go after crazy people? Okay, here's Colorado polls. Durango area wingnut scam artist exposed. That's April. Here's all kinds of information, including names of other individuals that you can speak to. And right in the very video, there are people from April's past that came and put comments making statements about the scams that they pulled that I had absolutely nothing to do with reporting because they were years before I ever went on the platform. Here is the Sovereign Files from the Southern Poverty Law Center, and April LaJQne is #1 from May of 2018. Scam artist. Here is Twitter, where the Durango Herald actually put up a tweet all on its own for April LaJQne, trying to warn people that other customers and employees are speaking out. Here is Quadloose. There's an entire section in their forum about April LaJQne and the scams that she's running. There is more than just one Facebook page. Here is Antonio News. Hate Watch by Southern Poverty Law Center article put up right there in the it's Antonito. The Antonito News. Antonito, Colorado, as in the entire city, putting up a warning. I mean, is this getting through to people? Okay, because this is not I realize that this is probably April's sock puppet account. Maybe they all are, but there are some people, I believe, that still are just like, duh, they don't realize. Here's Esquire Magazine. A right-wing radio host is allegedly running a second scam on the side. That's April LaJQne, and there are many more. There are ripoff reports. There are other petitions. There are other Facebook groups. So the claim you're making that Virgo has a narrative, I do. My narrative is, if you're a con artist, if you're a scammer, if you're on a social media platform, look the fuck out, because I'm coming after you. Once you stop your scam, cool. The whole point is awareness. The whole point is to ensure that people are aware of what people like you do to the elderly, do to the vulnerable, do to the disabled. Okay. As far as being jealous of April LaJQne, that would be the day. But I do find it interesting that that's exactly what April says all the time, which makes me think, possibly she might be projecting a bit. If April is doing something wrong, fraudulent, illegal, which she may be, the authorities will take care of it and do not need Virgo doing their legwork. If April is convicted of wrongdoing, that's another story, but until she is, Virgo is smearing April's name and egging Jennifer to do so as well. People are innocent in this country until proven guilty and convicted. Over 100 of your customers are going to prove that you are guilty. Every customer should be aware of what they are purchasing and do their own research. Another thing April says, on her very website, it claims you should actually reach out to an attorney. Reach out to an attorney who then, in the same breath, she says you can't trust because they're part of the bar. And they'll just tell you this stuff doesn't work because that's what they're told to do. No matter from whom they are purchasing, class action lawsuits are brought against big, reputable companies because they did not do things correctly. Consumers beware at all levels. It's now over a year. April is still on the air, and it does not appear that any charges have been brought. Listen to this. It took them 7 years to catch up to Winston Shrout. This is not something that's simple, and it's never done within a year. I can attest to that because we've had many con artists already go down. guess what? It takes time. Unless you blatantly walk into a bank with a gun and point it at somebody's head, if there's not an immediate, imminent threat, it takes time for them to build their case. And you better believe that there are cases that are open on Miss LaJQne. So the smear remains. How does April defend against this smear on YouTube? People need to have more self-control before they smear people. Okay, somewhere on here she also claims something to the effect of me taking April's channel down. I didn't take April's channel down. April took her own channel down. April took her own channel down, which isn't down, by the way. She was just on restriction, by not following community standards. Has nothing to do with me. All I'm doing is reporting on what I know to be factual, and that is hundreds of people, employees, family members, and other sources contacting me to warn people, assist in warning people about this con artist. Yeah, if it quacks like a duck, YouTuberisto. Okay, so for that inside intel that I was telling you guys about, Kurt Lister, which happens to be a subscriber to my channel that has been on my channel for quite some time at this point, informed me of this. My friend, who happens to be an FBI agent, was in the Denver office until he was transferred to Quantico, knows all about ALA, meaning April LaJQne. And he's a sniper and bomb squad instructor. So if a guy in a totally separate department knows your name and racket, I imagine the fraud division is gathering the evidence to support the charges with the maximum penalties. With luck, April May LaJQne will be in an orange jumpsuit in a federal prison within a year. The woman must think she's untouchable. Greed won't allow her to stop. So, of course, I asked Kurt to elaborate a little bit more on it, and this is what he sent me. I just casually asked if he had heard of her a few months ago. He said, "Is she the one with the radio show?" "Yep, that's her." He said they had complaints in the fraud department, but he didn't know the status. I talk to him at least twice a month. I'll see if he's willing to talk about it. Keep on her ass if you have current info. Call the FBI Denver office. That broad's got to go. Just a little piece of information that's been provided by one of the Virgo Triad subscribers that knows somebody in the Denver FBI office who, ironically, is in a totally different section that apparently already knows of April LaJQne's scams. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this crazy comment. Let me inform you guys of one thing. Happy July 1st. April LaJQne is back.